morning, Brandon. Good morning, Gary. Thank you for making KFGO number one in the morning, number one all day long. The KFGO Morning Crew, Doug Leier, Amistadi, getting your Wednesday, Thanksgiving Day Eve set for you.
Yeah, and many of us will be saying thanks as we sit down to a nice Thanksgiving meal, whether you're cooking it or someone else is cooking it. You got to keep food safety in mind. So we're going to visit with NDSU Professor, Extension Specialist Julie Garden-Robinson. She is with Nutrition and Food Safety. She is the go-to expert. Good morning to you, Julie.
Good morning.
Are you cooking Thanksgiving dinner this year?
Yes, but it's only a turkey breast this year, not a whole turkey. I have a very small gathering of just my immediate family.
Yeah.
Are you turkey is a go-to for many people. Then when it comes to the sides, do you prefer the green bean casserole? Do you go with some mashed potatoes and some yams? Is it the traditional Thanksgiving feast?
Oh, totally. We have all those things, and usually lefse, but I didn't get around to making it this year yet.
Oh, you'll have time. Christmas is far off, so you have time. Where do we run into the most trouble when it comes to foodborne illnesses? Is it with the turkey, Julie, or can it be many things?
Well, it could be many things, but the turkey is probably the menu item that most likely would have some contamination that could spread to other things. So turkey can contain Salmonella or Campylobacter, but it's inactivated through proper cooking, proper handling, proper thawing, and all those things.
And I know rules change or what we're supposed to do changes over the years. I always remember my mom washing the turkey before getting it ready to cook. Are we supposed to do that?
We no longer recommend washing any kind of meat because that is a way to contaminate your kitchen quite easily. So if you do choose to wash your bird, I know some people still do, you really then have to sanitize everything around the sink and wash your hands. But the easiest way is to just use the bird right out of the plastic bag it probably comes in and cook it properly.
Julie, Bonnie said I should have started thawing out my turkey like yesterday.
And like Sunday or Monday, maybe.
Sunday or Monday.
Size.
What if it is Wednesday morning at 6:41 a.m. and people haven't started thawing out their turkey? Would you suggest don't even try to speed it up by putting it in the bathtub with hot water? Not that I would ever do anything like that. Would you suggest?
I wouldn't suggest that.
Would you suggest trying you might as well just go get some prime rib or something? Or is there something that you could safely thaw out a turkey and have it ready for Thanksgiving?
You can thaw it in cold water. So say you have a 12-pound bird, that would take at least 6 hours in cold water. Clean your sink first really well and submerge your wrapped turkey in that cold tap water and then change the water every 30 minutes. So again, it's going to take at least 6 hours in this cold water bath, but not your hot water bathtub.
What if I use the shower? If I turn it and I'd have it raining warm water. I think I'm onto something.
Gross.
No.
Okay. I'm glad you're honest with us because
Yeah.
otherwise I could see some of my people trying that, Julie.
Or himself. What he has is a mess on his hands is what he would have. What if your turkey isn't 100% thawed? It's pretty close. Say you're at 70, 80%. Do you have to make sure it's thawed, or should you do that cold water method you just talked about, Julie?
I always like to start the roasting process with a fully thawed bird. You can freeze or you can cook frozen meat in some cases, but I would finish it off, get it fully thawed out, and that'll be a lot safer for you.
Is there a concern or an issue with leaving the turkey on top of the range throughout the day so Uncle Jerome and Uncle Andy can come walk back over watching football and pick off a couple of pieces of meat and slap it on some bread and have a sandwich at halftime?
No, I wouldn't want Uncle Jerome and the other one to do that. You really will only want the food at room temperature for a maximum of 2 hours. So you want to refrigerate food promptly in a cold fridge, 40 degrees or below. Ideally, take it off the turkey carcass.
Oh.
And put it in a shallow pan so it cools down really fast. Because temperature is the worst enemy here for food safety. So you want to keep things cold, and you want to cook them to the proper temperature. In the case of turkey, that is now 165 degrees Fahrenheit. When I first started my job, we always said 180. You might even see that on the wrapper. But 165 is the current USDA requirement, and you can always go higher.
Julie Garden-Robinson, NDSU food safety expert, joining us here on the KFGO Morning Crew. What about those who still like to put stuffing in the turkey carcass as it cooks? Is that okay to do?
If you stuff the bird loosely, it is okay, and right before you roast it, that is okay. You don't want to make all your preparations tonight, stuff the bird, and put it in your fridge overnight. That really isn't safe. So stuff it loosely if you prefer to have a stuffed bird. The safest way to do stuffing is actually to put it in a separate pan and roast it separate from your turkey. But if you stuff it loosely, you will be okay.
Julie Garden-Robinson is a professor and extension specialist with NDSU. She is a food safety expert. We've only got a few minutes left here. Are there any other really key points that we haven't touched on or asked about that you want to make sure that we get out to our listeners, Julie?
Yes, one of the things that listeners should remember is that you have a finite amount of time that these leftovers are going to be safe even in your refrigerator. So try to use them within 4 days, or you can freeze them. Be sure to label them and use within, say, 4 to 6 months. They will stay okay to eat for a long time in the freezer.
And that's the thing. You don't want that great food that you took all day preparing to go to waste. So portion it up and save it, and you'll have some great food as the months go along here.
Right. And try it in different ways so you don't get tired of turkey. You can make quesadillas, soup, casseroles. There's all kinds of recipes available. Any
other foods you can think of, say, besides the turkey, besides the stuffing, where people might run into, trouble with, I don't know, salmonella, E. coli, something along that line? Anything mayonnaise-based or anything like that, Julie?
Well, you always have to just treat all foods in a safe manner. So if you're making salads, for example, salads are linked to lots of foodborne illnesses. So wash your hands really well and be sure that you're not cross-contaminating any of these raw foods that you're going to serve your guests.
Do deviled eggs have a shelf life?
Yeah, that would be about the same few days, 4 days probably.
Is storing your leftovers, because your refrigerator might be too full, Julie, if you throw them in the garage or out on the deck, and we're talking, Thanksgiving, 36, 38 on Friday, 51 on Saturday. Is that some safe food storage that way or not?
No. Unfortunately, that would not be a safe thing to do.
We thought We thought the exhaust fumes would help preserve them.
No, and we have nice weather here right now, so you don't want to put your food outside probably any time because animals could get in it and so on. So,
is there a website where we can find even more information, Julie?
Yeah, the easiest way to find us at Extension is simply to Google NDSU Extension Food and Nutrition, and we have a huge website with probably 1,500 recipes and all kinds of fact sheets.
You want to throw your number out there so if all of our listeners have trouble and questions tomorrow morning, they can wake you up and call you and ask for advice, Julie, or not?
Probably not, Bonnie.
We're just teasing you. Hey, you have yourself a happy Thanksgiving. I know it's smaller. It is for a lot of people, too. But enjoy your Thanksgiving, and thanks for your time this morning, Julie.
Thank you very much.
You bet. That's NDSU Professor, Extension Specialist Julie Garden-Robinson. She is a food safety expert joining us here on the KFGO Morning Crew. I told you